Welcome to day 2 of the World Bowls Champion of Champions singles. And I've got to tell you, we've been treated to a good start to the second day with a lot of blue sky above, a little bit of cloud, some breeze, but the promise of a really warm day here. Now, yesterday, some of the players struggled a wee bit with the conditions, and most of them have played at least, or all of them, in fact, have played at least one game. Some of them have played 2. So by the end of today's play, we'll see rather a certain amount of movement in that points table. We'll get a good idea of who's likely to qualify and who might have slipped off the radar. Well, like yesterday, today we're going to show you 3 live games, and the first of those, due to start in just a moment, features 2 world champions. One of those is the woman who won this event last year. Enjoy.
Thanks, John. Ka tuku mihi mātou a Bowls New Zealand Aotearoa kia koutou katoa kua tai. Mai ki tēnei kaupapa hui huinga. Welcome to the Bowls New Zealand broadcast of Day 2 of the World Champion of Champions singles. And as John said, we've got a great game coming up for you. First up, we've got the United States of America playing Malaysia. They're just finishing their second trial end now. Farah there, the Malaysian with her bowl, has had some success, and in the background we see Anne Nunes, who was the winner of this event last year when it was played in Australia. Kitted out quite nicely in the American gear, and was the first American to win a world title in about 50 years. I think the last time was the 70s. So Anne was saying it's been an unusual experience coming to this World Champion of Champions events, and people being weary of the American. Welcome back, John.
Thank you, Alex. It wasn't a big sprint to get here. Yes, Anne has got that pressure now on her, hasn't she? And you sense that it's there, but fancy the two of them, these 2 outstanding players, meeting on our first telecast of the day, with Farah Ain really outstanding with that world indoor title, and Nunes wearing those quite a popular part of the garb now, isn't it? The sleeves to keep the sun off, and she's well aware of what the sun can do here.
Called spams.
Yeah, really good.
Certainly the sun down in New Zealand must be a little bit more biting than what a lot of these players are used to, John.
Absolutely, but they're all aware of it, and as usual from Malaysia, always well covered up. And I don't just mean the headgear, I mean they always have long sleeves on. They always, men and women, they're just aware of the sun damage potential. I noticed in the first trial ends that both players put their first couple of bowls in or near the ditch, just coming to grips with the speed. We're playing a different direction, of course, from yesterday.
Yeah, so the greenkeepers have stated that it'll go crisscrossing, so we'll go in this direction one day and in the other direction the next, and that's just for even wear on this Maniatoto green. And if I've counted correctly, John, I believe that we're now on the first end, because this should be the second trial end. So we'll know because the bowler's either going to get taken away or not.
Yep. No, they've had their 2 trial ends. I was standing out there watching that. That was impressive, actually, to watch the intensity. As we talked yesterday about the fact that it's only 7 ends. So your trial ends, really, you've got to treat them as your first 2 ends, because that's so important.
Farah here on her backhand. What a lovely first bowl that is. Yeah, very nice start.
trying to get rid of a phone here that keeps ringing. There we go.
Problem solved.
Yep, pull the plug.
It's like the start of a bad joke. How many people does it take to remove a phone from an office? The answer being apparently 3 of us. Farah on her backhand. They're such a disciplined bowling country, reasonably a newish bowling country in the terms of what we look at with bowls. John, Malaysia, I believe it was a Commonwealth Games in the 90s that they started.
So in late 90s, so I should remember, I was there, 1998 I think. And that was a matter of, bowls is a bit like India, there were no facilities, so they created facilities, but the Malaysians really got involved in it, and the Malaysian bowler community became instantly very strong. And if we look through the records since then, the number of world titles have won, number of medals at World Championships or Commonwealth Games, quite remarkable.
We had, if my memory serves me correctly, and I'm sure it's in the program book, I was talking about it yesterday, John, but I think a World Champion of Champions that was hosted in Burnside was won by the Malaysian representative when she defeated Sharon Sims in the final.
Yep, 2005. So when you consider that, that's only 7 years after that Commonwealth Games. So that's
7th year bowler.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, pretty much. So Ariani, she won it, and then there was at least one male from Malaysia has won it. So, and then a second woman, Emma Saroji, won it at Helensvale in 2015. That's not off the top of my head. I've searched for the records.
I would have believed you.
And there's no doubt that what we're seeing here through Farah is another of those who is very capable of capturing this too. So in the context of the competition, it's very important. We've got the 2 of the key players in the Women's Championship, and even though it's only day 2, and for these players just their second game, I think certainly for Anne Nunes it's just her second game, it's still a big game, still a big match. So here's Nunes coming down following that bowl, which shows that they've all got that green pretty well.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the start here from these players. I'd expect, as you said at the top of the show, John, we're going to see the standard just continue to improve here at the Browns Bay Bowling Club as the international players adjust to the quicker greens here than what they used to. They're all champions for a reason, and they'll figure it out. Who do you think's holding here? The blue bowl?
Not sure. Nunes went down to have a look and just check, see what she plays here. She's got the ability, a potential here to promote her own bowl a little bit anyway.
Oh, that's a little bit unlucky there, but I think no damage done.
One down she is. So a single there, starting this game between 2 classy players. Farah of Malaysia picks up the first shot.
Again, we see, I'll have to talk to some of these international players. It's fascinated me, just from a Kiwi point of view, that the bowling mats that they stand on have been left at each end for every broadcast game we've had, not featuring a New Zealander, John. It'll be intriguing. I think tomorrow we start with Australia versus New Zealand, and I wonder if perhaps it's a Southern Hemisphere habit to carry the mat backwards and forwards with you.
I think it must be, because that's you're right. That's an observation we've made here, and to us it makes sense that you're standing behind the player who's playing the last bowl. You pick up the mat, walk it down, and place it. So rather than walking back to the bank and then onto the bank at the other end, you're saving yourself 10 paces every end.
It's the Kiwi. It's the Kiwi laziness, right? Laziness is the mother of all invention.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, we'll just
also it
we'll
means
just carry.
You don't have to cart too many
mats around when you're setting up the rinks. Right, 1-0 it is. All right, World Indoor Gold Medal at Guernsey in April of this year.
And Anne opting to lead off on the forehand side, so the opposite hand here. Be interesting to see. You see in the background, just past our cameraman to the left, there's a gate, and the wind does sort of tends to funnel up to the left as we see it. It'll be intriguing to see if that makes any difference at all to the bowls, John.
Certainly Max isn't big enough to prevent that wind having an effect, is he?
If anything, he'll just increase the the slipstream. It's too early in the event to be going loopy, John.
So while there is just standing out there before, you know, I held a cloth out to see what effect the wind was having down sort of knee level and that, and it wasn't much. It is a bit breezy as you're standing in it, but I'm not sure that it's having too much of an effect at ground level. Nothing that's these players are going to worry about.
I wouldn't expect it to. There's beautiful conditions for playing bowls this morning, and steering after this one. Yeah, well played.
So you get the feeling that after the trial ends and Nunes decided that that side favoured her, she played backhand one way, forehand the other. She's going to get a slide off this and it'll work for her.
Oh, how well's that gone?
Yeah.
Good bowl.
Needed it. The American with 2 seconds.
Just drifting past. It was played with the weight. You almost think there's an intention you see here from the player's end.
Yeah.
Covering the back.
Smooth, and then that anxious, oops, I'm heavy here. She might get the same result.
Nope.
No. She stayed on the rink, I think so.
So this is what Anne sees. I think just the forehand, John. Just to the right of your
I think so.
screen.
She can play onto that shot quite comfortably. Interesting, looking at a bowl there where she holds it, it's not sort of, the running track isn't coming directly off her hand. Here she goes. She might just have this and grab a couple. Oh, Jack goes her way or not.
I think she's been a bit unlucky there. Yeah. Snicked it back for one blue.
So she had planned it. She put the deep bowl in and her opponent followed her. And then she ran it and didn't quite get it square. Otherwise, she would have been pushing it back to the ditch, and she may well have had the shot.
Look at this.
Just, came off her own.
Her
bowl was perfectly placed, wasn't it, for the jack?
Literally
but not quite.
Collided with the bowl of her own. As Margaret Eames walks up the rink, indicating one more to Farah. 2-0 after 2 ends.
Much chat going on out there, though. Both very intense players. So, and Nunes got that bronze medal too, didn't she, in 9i a couple of years ago. 6 times national champion of the USA, and she resides at Newport Beach, out around Coronado in San Diego.
And quite incredibly, she's a retired aerospace engineer.
An
amazing career.
Yeah. I think Coronado, everyone who lives there is
something to
from
do
the Air
with
Force.
it.
Yeah. We went to America's Cup when San Diego, when the America's Cup was on. We went to the Top Gun place, venue there, where we saw all these fantastic fighter planes, and of course we weren't there to do that, to look at that. We were there to have a good time, which we did. And there is a Dennis Conner, the infamous probably in New Zealand sailor. There is an event there called the Dennis Conner Around Coronado's Race, which was held just a bit earlier this year. Coronado, quite a famous area.
This is a nice bolt. Yeah, good shot.
Yes.
Well played.
Going to a good home too.
Be very pleased with that. Settling in very nicely to their task here, aren't they, these players?
Very tidy.
Just nice to
enjoying this.
To watch. Look like they're both using Henselite XGs. Incidentally, if anyone was wondering, you can see that with the just those grips on the bowl. Very common bowl down here in New Zealand and Australia, John, the Henselite XG.
It's a good line, doesn't it, to maybe finishes in a good place anyway. Ooh, it kept going. Gee.
Well, it finished. It finished.
Yeah.
So holding one already. Looking to draw a second. We'll be hoping to miss more on the wide side here, John, than the narrow, I think.
Yeah. But she's not.
Just cutting across the head.
How adventurous is Farah?
You can see she has got those two blue bowls right at the back of the head.
However, she'll be looking at the board, and she's got a couple of points. This is the third end. Play that forehand again. Options for her there. Sit the shot and or move the jack back to herself, or just draw it dead, which is probably going to be the option she'll go for.
Oh, she's better than us, John, so
yeah.
Big chance. She's not far away here.
No.
Needs it to let go.
Oh,
hasn't.
That was close. So it wasn't the draw of the shot. I had a roll up in the artificial out here this morning, Alex. It's blisteringly quick. Honestly, I thought, well, this bowl here will finish halfway. People who know me say, yeah, you're going to be short as usual. And it just kept on going and going. It was in the ditch before I knew it.
I did have a spy come and report that they'd seen you have a roll up, John. I said, oh, how did he go? And the spy said, I couldn't possibly comment. And looking to make it two, get her first shots on the board. And this, her second game of the World Champion of Champions singles, and that's fair enough, isn't it? She's just probably thinking there, well, I've got one.
Yeah.
I don't need to go too close. One there.
We'll say that was her thoughts.
Yeah, it seems reasonable.
Yep.
And look at this, the long walk back for Margaret to pick up the mat and put it on the bank. Well, they do a lot of work, don't they, these markers?
I think they're all looking at dinner tonight too, the whole group of umpires going out for
Oh,
dinner.
cool.
Well, I shouldn't have said that because it might be just the elite.
Oh, I'm sure they won't be tuning in to watch the bowls coverage, John. They've got more important things to do, so you've not let the cat out of the bag there. And on the forehand.
Certainly looks like she's just going to stick to that side of the rink. She picked it up on the trial ends. Stay there unless she has to, and she will be forced at some stage to change hands. Farah struggled with her weight going this way last time.
And again.
This is where you step on the mat and you think, right, I've got to capitalise here. That's a loose bowl and I don't expect my opponent to play many of those. I've got to get one in here. Ooh, whistling.
So easy to do. Stayed up on the paddock. And good line. Oh, smooth bowl there from Farah.
Again, they're just scratchy going in this direction in particular. Holding shot about 1.5 meters short.
You wouldn't expect that to still be the shot when the end is completed.
Not wider this time, and it's not coming in from there. She got the weight perfect.
Oh, there's room really here for Farah to draw the shot. She would back herself. 2 more bowls to go.
Changing hands.
Steering after this one. Look at that, willing it on. Go, she says. Underneath. Oh.
Gets the shot out of it though, probably.
Oh.
I don't know, gosh. Well, when you look at that, drawing it inside that blue is all she needs to do, so she can afford to be quite a bit narrower than what her last one was. Here we go. Just for the shot and possibly 2 shots. Is that a happy face or not?
It's hard to tell. I think it was, I'm not sure.
Oh, that's all right. Hits her own up. And
oh, that's worth a 2. What a bowl.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Last bowl of this, the 4th end. The score at the moment is Malaysia 2, USA 1. Gonna finish narrow. Grimace, annoyance. That's an end that you would not want to photograph and pin on the wall, but it's just centre it in, cut out the blue bowls and that wide red, and you've got 2 shots there, 2 red shots to Ann Nunes of the USA. I agree, and she hits the front at 3-2.
Courtesy of that nice bowl she played with her final delivery, Ann Nunes able to create a 2, just punching up her own shot and following on with the collision bowl. Look at this. And sit down. Yeah, well played, wasn't it?
A good result anyway, wasn't it? Yeah, perfect. And it was an option. It was there. You see the Maltese Falcon shirt in behind and Nunes there, the red and the white and black. It's Jason Borg of Malta. We're watching him next up, I think.
Where is Malta, John?
Yeah, it's not in Australia where these players come from.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll Google it.
Oh, I thought you were jesting, but no, that's
no. I legitimately got no idea.
Good. Here's a great opener. That's good. So she's enjoying playing this side of the rink. And Nunes, she, although she wasn't all that accurate going the other way, she's decided that this is the side she likes, and now her opponent has decided that she's got something going for her with playing this hand.
It's between Sicily and the North African coast, John, as everyone knows. The Republic of Malta, an island country in southern Europe. They have 553,214 people, approximately. Anyway.
Yep. No, that's it's always good to have those accurate figures.
Just off the top of my head, and this is a beautiful bowl from Ann Nunes.
Gosh.
This direction, you're right, they just seem to be nailing it, and then going away, or going back in the other direction, not so good. Look at the focus here. Little twist of the wrist on the backswing. Slow down, she says.
Now this is where, absolutely perfect line there. 1 under measure, she says Margaret Eames, who is the marker for this. Nice line for her to get another shot here, or to maybe nudge up her own. Just going to finish underneath. Well, just wanted another metre and a bit, and she would have been happily holding 3, I think. Going with vigour.
Close here.
There'll be some damage. Oh, the worst of outcomes.
That is an absolute calamity for the Malaysian. She's chipped her own bowl off, John, and oh dear. You're almost committed to aggression now, aren't you, if you are Farah? And now find yourself holding 3 shots.
Coach in the background there, not saying too much. Oh, that's interesting. She's just going to, presuming that her opponent is going to have a smack at this, so she puts in the back bowl.
You can see
it's end number 5, so with 3, that takes it out to 6-2, unless she can do something about this. Well, if we reconsider that last shot of hers, probably if she hadn't hit her own, she would have hit the shot.
Yeah, and
so she'll have another go at it.
It looks like the blue bowl of Farah is on the 2 metre mark, doesn't it? So I think attacking here is the call. See if you can get a kill out of it, John. You've already had 1 drive shot. Looks like it might be easier to hit it on the forehand. I think she's going to try and draw, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would have thought because the draw this way has been a bit of a struggle for her that she would maybe go have a crack at it.
Oh, this is a huge moment.
Yeah. No, I think she's already thinking I should have run that.
Needs it to stop. Needs it to
Not
stop.
gonna stop, no. So it's a 3 or 2 at least. As she cut out one, whatever. It was a turn in this game, quite a dramatic turn. With Farah having led by 2-0 after 2. That's 3-2 down, and it is
2 there.
2. Well, she certainly cut one down anyway. So, interesting, intriguing match this, with Anne Nunes scoring 5 over the last 3 ends and leads by 5-2.
And the mat. Interesting there. Sometimes in bowls and singles play we talk about if you're attacking with your third bowl, it can just be worthwhile having the courage of your convictions and just go, well, if I'm attacking with my third, I've committed to, if I miss this one, I'm going to be attacking with my fourth as well. And I think upon reflection, Farah may regret that shot selection. John?
I think she's more regretting her inability to get close with the draw. You know, this is not what we really expected from her. And as we said yesterday, sometimes the first set just goes and then you start from 0, and maybe that's what happens here. But in the meantime, her opponent gets a reasonably good first bowl away.
Beautiful delivery. This is the penultimate end, so for see a Jack just come flying onto the ring. For the Malaysian competitor, you need to score this end and the next one, John, to take the set. That's a good way to go about starting that.
Blue ball might go here. I'm just going to flick underneath it. Same weight as her previous one. Has she suddenly got to grips with the screen? Here's Farah from Malaysia.
It does feel often for these players, once they click in, they won't click out of gear, John.
Yeah.
So once we see...
Here we go. Look, there's a second one coming into the zone.
That's lovely stuff.
Yeah.
Really nice bowls. I don't know why the grimace is there. That's nearly perfect. And holding 2.
Jerky on that shot, and again she was had some intent there.
You can see that it just didn't get out of the hand as she would have liked it to, and the challenge for Anne now is there's no bowls past the head, so aggression isn't going to work as well as she might have liked it to be had she had bowls even on the 2 metre mark.
Well, this might work for her. Will she get inside that red? No, it's not going to. It shouldn't upset Nunes, who goes down to have a look.
This is what she sees here. So the instinct as a bowler, John, is probably reaching on the forehand, do you think? Just on the right as you see it on screen?
Yeah.
Bowls are all reasonably close. It doesn't have to be, we're not talking big weight, are we? We're just saying maybe 3 or 4 feet over into that gap. You wriggle off a bowl or trail the jack back for one.
I think that's right. The wriggle off a bowl is what you'd think might happen here. She's got her own bowl. If she sort of gets a slide off that, it'll take her into the jack. The other side of the shot bowl all sorts of things. Lots of options here. This is her final bowl, fourth of the sixth end.
Giving herself half a chance here, John.
Yes, yeah, she has half a chance. All right.
That's well played. Yeah, good shot.
Taken one out at least.
The weight was what was key with that, wasn't it? Because it's the weight to get 3 or 4 chances. And Margaret Eames just confirming that it is 1 to the Malaysian. So Farah now looking to draw a second shot on her backhand and bring the score to 4-5. Last end. Very important bonus bowl here. The difference between needing to score a multiple and getting away with 1. Wow.
Yep, pretty good. So she's certainly shown what she's capable of. A couple of nice draw shots into the zone. 3, in fact, because one was taken out. She scored 2, or just the single. 1 goes out.
It deserved a 2,
Yep.
but it may not be a 2. It was well played. Going to be made to measure for it. And Nunez here. Does the skill set of an aerospace engineer extend into creating bowling measures?
We could ask.
I don't know. And it was 2 there, so the score 4-5. And it's the final end 7 of set 1 in this morning game here at Browns Bay. Been a very well contested match so far. Farah.
Get the feeling that the second set's going to be a doozy. You know, as the two of them have settled down now quite well to their green and weight. And whichever way the first set goes, there'll be no guarantee that the winner of that wins the second, with the standard of this these 2 women. So leading off with the jack throw, mid-length, and it's going to be Farah with the first ball.
Every game we've broadcast has gone to a tiebreak,
It
hasn't
has,
it, John?
yeah, they have.
I'd hate to see that pattern broken. On the backhand. Extremely grooved delivery there.
We had a bit of a discussion amongst a few of us last night about the format, you know, which most people seem to enjoy, but there's quite a call for, you know, best of 3. You know, if you're going to play 2 sets of 7 ends, why not play a third, make it a best of 3?
It's interesting, eh? And the I quite like, if anyone's ever watched the Darts World Championships, which are due to start in about 3 weeks' time, the way that works, it's the first to X number of sets.
Yes. Yeah.
So maybe the first to 2 sets or the first to 3 sets. For their World Championship final, it's the first to 5 sets, and they do a certain number of legs. You could work out some sort of darts format. There's an endless number of options, I suppose, John.
I suppose even if they looked at the best of 3 for the playoffs or something with this, you know, but they're constantly reviewing the formats of World Bowls events.
Oh yeah, I mean certainly. There's always some interesting opinions.
Yeah.
Around. You could go. Oh, I won't even say it.
There's
plenty of options. Plenty of options. I've long held that every competition should just be 2 live first to 31 points.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. Well, that's why I don't get allowed anywhere near the conditions of play. I just sit behind a microphone and ramble about bowls. And talking about rambling about bowls, what a
shot here!
Great effort that was.
And but I think for the traditionalists, you've got singles, champion of champions, first to 21. You know, one dispense with the set system. There's a lot of call for that too.
We'll always have a mixture of views, but a mixture of bowls being played as well.
Most of them would have won their titles, championships, playing first to 21, wouldn't they? 21 shots.
Yeah, some of them would have. It's interesting how the countries get their champions through to this. In New Zealand, we're very spoilt with our national championships, which are just truly open Championships. If you're affiliated to Bowls New Zealand or any NSO from any country affiliated to World Bowls, it's just an open event. You can enter our singles, pairs, fours or mixed pairs. The draw is not seeded. You just enter it and you can play, and that's rare around the place. Most national championships require qualifying, so I think we're very lucky in New Zealand to have our system. Get the opportunity.
We should remind New Zealanders, or anyone who's going to be in New Zealand at the time, that I think the cut-off point for singles and pairs, which will be held in this area, might be the end of this week.
Yeah, they've got maybe a week to get the entries in. Looking forward to that. Now, it's getting a bit niggly this end, isn't it? The shot, who holds the shot? If I was betting, I'd say Anne does that red bowl at 1 o'clock to the jack. Looks like the shot to me.
So too. No indication to the contrary. Gentleman sitting down there, we can just see his brown trousers now. That's father of the English singles women's player. That's Pip Brandfield, who's been out to New Zealand several times. There he goes.
Looking quite serene.
Yeah, he enjoys coming out. He and other members of the family are here.
Right, so given that we think Farah is one down here, this shot needs to count for the set to stay alive for Malaysia. On the forehand. On the wide side there, John.
Just that weight gets
It's
around
coming
that.
back.
It's okay. If a weight's good enough, it'll be the shot.
Whoop.
Or if it falls in, who knows? Let's see. Do we see our umpire giving us an indication?
It may be enough.
Well, she only finger measured the two front bowls.
The fact that Anne's gone back to play her bowl would indicate. Come on, Margaret. Don't you say it's a measure. Oh, one blue. So 1.5.
So that back bowl must have been the shot.
Yeah. And may I just say what exceptional marking that was from Margaret Eames. That's very helpful.
Can have drawn sets, of course. Pushed that out really wide, but that's where she's found them coming home from. Oh, she'll need some luck here. Not quite getting it.
Didn't get it.
So it's a shot to Farah from Malaysia, and maybe two. She's saying that's one. It is one, and so we do have it tied up at 5-all.
So the first set drawn. Look at this here from the Malaysian. This is the bowl that counted in the end, just around the front one. And sit for one. Lovely bowl.
So we'll start the second set in just a moment, and it will be the winner of this set that wins this particular match. So I mentioned earlier, some of the players played just one game yesterday, others played a couple. There were a few upsets, as you will find by looking at the results, and some of the players would have gone to bed last night thinking, I can't afford to be like that today or tomorrow, looking at day two. So by the end of today, there'll be quite a bit of movement on the points table, and those that were unbeaten after day one might find themselves not quite in that advantageous position after day two.
First bowl of set two here.
Got a little bit longer with the jack. She's found that line. She found it on the previous end coming in this direction. That's a good starter.
You do find, John, when you're able to deliver the jack, that often does give you that feeling, doesn't it, for your first bowl? And it doesn't really make sense because the jack is a totally different size and shape to a bowl. But for whatever reason in this game, if you can deliver the jack often, you think, well, I know what weight to deliver the bowl with now, and it's usually pretty close.
Yeah, I'd like to say I'm in agreement with that, but I've thrown down quite a few jacks, and seldom does my first bowl end up. But you're right, it should give you an advantage, and you're often back in the day taught, if you just remember how you put the jack down, because that transfers to what your first bowl will do. Unless you put it in the ditch. And, here's a couple of shots now.
That's exceptional stuff.
Changed hands too, so she's nutted the jack on both hands.
And important for Anne to have this bowl past the head so that she can play a shot later on in the end. It's about trying to give yourself opportunities, John.
Yeah.
As long as this comes back to the centre line, it's actually a very nice shot here. That's well played from Anne, as long as it stays up on the paddock. Yeah, good bowl.
That kept tracking, didn't it? Gee.
I did think it was going to stop earlier.
Otherwise you wouldn't have said what you said.
Correct, yeah. You're onto it.
Good tactics here. Holding 2, that's a good start. 2 on any end is impressive. And then she's covered the 2 metre mark, I mean.
Literally sitting on the 2 metre mark there. Well, if the weight's right here, this could be an exceptional bowl from Anne Nunez. How's the speed? Mighty effort. Unfortunately, she's blocked the drive really, John, with that that red bowl. You can see it's in the way. And Farah a chance to draw for 3. It's reasonably safe for the blue bowls to draw for third shot as long as you keep it in line with the rest. You wouldn't want to give Anne a shelf to use here. This one's more about the green that you're taking. May even play the backhand. No.
Yeah, she gets past the jack. That's good, because Anne might still look at playing with weight. There's the opportunity really to punch her own onto the shot bowl and send the jack spilling back.
I suppose part of it is you're happy to...
Oh, fine line here.
Oh, there's no harm.
No.
It'll be intriguing to see what shot Anne opts to play. You could argue, if you look at this head, Anne has 3rd and 4th shot.
Yeah.
And she's only 1 down on the 2, so why not hit your red bowl that sits at 12 onto the 2 blues and see if you can clear some stuff off. The worst case scenario in theory would be still 2 down, which is what you are now. And you may just drop a 1 or even score.
And then she almost drew it last time.
True. It's got the green right.
Yeah.
Not sure about the weight on this one, John.
And I think she'll be questioning that decision. Accuracy of the draw hasn't been great for the players to get into that sort of area, and so you sort of think maybe that just hit your own bowl, push the blue out, move the jack back to the ditch, seemed to be more options. And as you said, she could only really go 2 down, remain 2 down. However, it's a good start for Malaysia in the second set of this, having drawn the first 5 all. Malaysia lead 2-0.
Be another interesting thing to watch as the days go on, and I think we'll see it today, John, with the style of play being played, and we keep on bleating on about it, but the greens here at Browns Bay are running between 17 and 20 seconds, which is very quick. And the style of game we play in New Zealand tends to be a draw or drive game. You know, you're either drawing the shot, and if you hit something, you hit it pretty hard. Because if you play the reaching game that we see in a lot of other countries,
Yes.
so say we were in England and I wanted just to play a reaching bowl, it's very easy for me to keep my bowl on the rink and past the head. If you're in New Zealand and you want to play a reaching bowl, more often than not, your bowl just goes into the ditch if you miss. So your percentages don't improve. So we find that the game we play down here tends to be draw or drive, and that's a beautiful draw bowl.
Yeah.
Or easier to draw or drive, John, I think is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't mean you can't play the other shots, but they're so much harder than they are in other countries.
It's quite a tidy bowl too from Nunes. Very tidy.
Yeah, lovely stuff.
Just have a wee look out a bit later on and just see what sort of length is being played on some of the other rinks. Whether they've all decided that, hey, we're getting far more accurate out of bowling 2 to 2.
Look
2
at
metre
this
mark
stuff.
to 2 metre. That's classy now. Sounds quite still out there. So the
That's what I mean about overplaying a bowl, John.
Yeah.
Very easy to do. And very, very little wind this morning.
oh, here we go. 2 on the bank, I think.
Look at this. So easy to do. You just think,
Yeah.
oh, just add a little bit of weight, and it goes hoofing into the ditch.
Tracking well.
Needs it to hold. Oh, lovely effort.
Yeah.
It's an interesting decision here to make for Farah. I think she'll be quite pleased to leave the 2 there. You're almost covering the red bowl that you see to the right of your screen, John. That's where the jack might go. Maybe Farah will just play a cover bowl on the forehand. 2's good fishing, and it's a nice narrow target.
Yep. Just doesn't want to waste a ball. It's it'd be a big target if she gets now just decides to draw, and even if she's good enough to sit the red ball out for 3, that'll be a fat target.
Yeah, I think it would just encourage Anne to hit, and I'm not sure if that's what the Malaysian player would like to see.
Just wants to keep this on the green. It's a pretty good shot, that, actually, isn't it? Come round for the 2 metre mark. Will it be the 2 metre? Yeah, be the closest to the 2 metre. Oh no, of course the jack's on the 2 metre, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nicely played.
Yeah. Because the danger for weight here is those, you might just blue cannon into red, you knock your own bowl off and you're still 2 down or 3 down. She didn't miss by much last time.
No.
So let's see what she manages here. 2 down now. Play the perfect bowl. Drag the jack away to our left. She's not going to do that though. And so it is a Another two to Farah of Malaysia, and she now leads by 4-0. So just reminding you that Farah Ain won the World Indoor Gold Medal earlier this year, April, in Guernsey. She played outstandingly well there. And Nunes has won this event last year and bronze medal a couple of years previous. So we've got two of the real big contenders for this event.
Remembering too that it's a bit of a marathon on section play here, and the players play, I think it's 7 games each, and as a general rule they can probably afford to lose 2 games before it's panic stations. You know, so 5, 6 or 7 wins should be enough to qualify you for post section. And the sections are such that it's likely that you probably would lose a game in section play, I think, John. So we see
change of length here. So the previous end, she drew 2 beautiful bowls on the 2 metre mark. Jack's nowhere near the 2 metre mark this time.
Much shorter. That's a nice bowl.
Yeah.
Have been impressed with the Malaysian representative, really settling into the speed of the screen.
It's not bad either.
Very close here. That's a lovely shot.
Yes. When the match, you feel as though the match is slipping away from me. 2-2s, I'm down 4-0, but I'm only playing the 3rd end. So she draws the shot nicely. Oh, over-talked it.
Well, that was... I'd blame you, John. Strange. You just have a momentary lapse in concentration in this game, and a loose bowl happens. And here on the forehand, 4 down in this set, and the short sets are really... will be looking to score on this end if she can. Nice green.
Isn't that? That's amazing, isn't it, when you look at that? 2 really good bowls first up, and the opposite for the next 2.
Oh, that's smooth out of the hand. Up and over on their own blue, or underneath for the red. Oh, what an exceptional bowl. Well played. Moments of magic here at the Browns Bay Bowling Club.
Is this the first time she's played this hand?
I think it might be, John.
And she might just say to herself, why did I persevere with the other? Oh, for a little correction there.
You look at the weight, absolutely perfect weight with that bowl, John. It's dead level with the jack. But as it sits, Farah in a very strong position here, holding 2. Are we thinking a 3rd shot on the forehand, but aiming past a little bit?
Yeah. Well, otherwise you might see Anne Nunes have a smack at those 2. She's got 3rd, 4th, 5th shots, I'd say. I think she'd want Farah would like something down on the left-hand side here behind those 2 red. The jack will go possibly, if Anne plays that same sort of shot, will come over to the left as we view it.
You draw a line from the jack down in the sort of 7 o'clock direction.
Yeah.
That is where she'd be aiming to finish opting to play that on her backhand. Such a smooth delivery. The stressy thing about the backhand is you'd hate to be through the jack.
Yes.
on your way to the cover, but she's not going to be. And that's a very well played bowl from Farah. That's essentially
pretty much where we
perfectly placed.
Where we suggested she play
Yeah.
it. I think when you look at the Malaysians playing, their style, they all use the same style. The coaching has been thorough.
Very well coached.
Yeah.
If Anne is feeling aggressive, you see this from the players' end, she may think, oh, I can just get the 2 blue bowls without any jack movement.
Yeah.
Deep breath in.
Pretty good line. Jack. Yeah, played that
What a
well.
beautiful
Very
bowl.
good bowl. Oh,
A beautiful bowl.
Yeah. And nice placement from Farah, because that had the potential to be 3 shots if she hadn't had her bowl in that position. So a good save there from Anne Nunes, as we see that very good bowl that's made it 2 up to Farah, and then this one here is getting a slice of it, and it was good that she got a slice, because otherwise it might have just carted back to the blue, but she gets a shot out of it. That's a good save there from the American, the defending champion.
Here we've got Dave Allen and the South African on the right. She's being broadcast a bit later on. It's a popular hat in South Africa, those visors.
Yep.
Don't see them in New Zealand. They must do a good job with the sun. Right on the 2 metre mark, John.
I had a chat to Annika when they were practicing here the other day. Really thrilled her, and the pair of them. As I think I said the other day that the South African male who's here, Wayne Roberts, is moving to New Zealand. So we'll be quite happy to have him. He's highly ranked in the world of bowls.
Certainly is, and given his ranking, we may see him right at the pointy end and post section, John.
Yeah.
Maybe the men's final, perhaps. You never know. And that long end thrown by Anne. Probably to try and disrupt Farah, because she was just drawing so well in the last 2 ends. Has done its job, but for both of them.
I think coming this way last time, it was on the 2 metre. So, and we saw Farah draw 2 shots with the jack on the 2 metre mark, so I was a bit surprised. But Anne clearly feels a bit more comfortable with this length as well, and here she goes.
Oh, that's exceptional.
Yeah.
Lovely bowl.
Highly polished bowls. I looked at them while they were having their trial ends, and you could just about see yourself in those red bowls.
That's the only thing I miss, John, about the black bowls, is when they were polished to that nice sheen.
Yeah.
I think they were really nice looking. You could polish them with you get a bit of Grippo and smear some Grippo on the bowl and then polish them up, and they'd come up absolutely beautiful. Whereas with the multicoloured bowls, you could have a sheen to them, but it doesn't, I don't think it stands out quite as much, although goodness, look at that, you can see it on Anne's bowls, can't you?
Yeah. And with those black bowls, you could use chalk.
Yes.
A stick of chalk and see it.
Always helpful.
Yep.
Looking to stack it up here. The defending women's champion. That's lovely stuff.
It's the winner of this set that wins this match, because the first set was drawn.
And the 2 to 2 metre mark so far has thrown off Farah.
It'd be good to draw this one as well. That'd be good if we go to a tiebreaker.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I'm sold.
A good enough correction here from Farah. On the jog down the centre line comes Anne Nunes, the defending champion, the woman who won the World Bowls Champion of Champion Women's title last year. Has a look, doesn't come right down to the head. Farah comes down, stands on the bank where she'll see one of her bowls. I think there's one up on the bank.
It's interesting.
Just
Deep
draw
breath
another.
in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pushes it out wide, very wide.
yeah, that's maximum green. It'll be interesting just to see how far this does come back in. Won't be far enough, but beautiful weight and still holding a reasonable 2 here, John. Like, I think Anne will be expecting to score at least 1 shot on this end. See the head there.
Well, that bowl wasn't on the ditch, so her opponent has got the 3 back bowls here, and I'm sure that's where Anne was looking to put that last bowl of hers, somewhere down around the 1 and close to the ditch. She has got a toucher, so the shot bowl is a toucher, which means that if it goes into the ditch, it is still a live bowl. Just get some advice from the coach.
On the back end.
So maybe just looking at that score saying, okay, it's 4-1. I could drop a single. Let's try and draw a second shot. Tracking well. Tracking very well here. Just going to finish under, but might well still be second shot. It is second shot.
Oh, well played.
Oh, yep. So that was a good save there. Only 2 down she was at the time. But rather than being aggressive, playing to the board a little bit.
1 conceded. And we'll measure for second shot here.
And I think the reason that Farah's doing the measuring is that Anne said, I'm claiming 2.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
Please and thank you. Blue bowl first and then the red. And it's looking like 2.
2 it is.
So it was a well played bowl, but not well played enough for Farah, and the set level now at 4 apiece. 4th end. Or is it 3-4, John?
3-4, I think.
3-4. That's not nowhere near as exciting as 4 apiece. That's what you get for being efficient on the
You're
on
so
the
quick with
scoreboard
it today. Just
well, the problem was I was quick, and then I'd forgotten I'd put 1 shot on the board already.
how long do we go? We go short.
Interesting.
So we're going long one way and short the other. Ooh, she might be struggling with that. That's okay. All right. So this is as short as it gets. Minimum length.
In theory, you essentially just breathe on the bowl and it'll make it.
Yeah.
For our viewers too, this is the broadcast green is probably the slowest of the 3 greens here at Browns Bay. So if you think this is quick to watch, the other 2 greens are quicker. There's a 3rd one that's down the back of the building that's running very close to 20 seconds in speed, and the other green is probably 18 or 19, whereas this is comparatively slow. We think at about 17 seconds.
Yeah, they timed it, trying to be totally accurate, I heard 16.8 or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll change as the day goes on. As I mentioned previously, the temperature's due to get warmer.
And on the forehand. That's a very nice bowl from Anne Nunez there. Yeah, well played. Farah just deciding here, forehand or backhand. You look at this, it looks like it'll be on the forehand. It's the open side, easier to get a bowl close to the jack.
I just had a quick look at my phone. I see that temperature here, they're saying at the moment is 19, but due to get up to 23 or 24.
Has been quite warm. Was warm yesterday, John.
Yeah.
So yeah, bloke with an ice cream in the background, so he's not going to be that warm for much longer.
So the coffee cart here, ice cream around the corner. Holding shot, so let's be wide rather than narrow.
Yeah, exactly. That's wise words from
Brings that in.
Joe Edwards.
Yeah. That's a handy bowl there. So movement of the jack could go to her, so she's covering it pretty well. So just reminding you as you look at the score up in the top left-hand corner, 5-all the first, and a great story in that where Farah got out to a 2-0 lead, and then Nunez scored 5 over 3 ends to lead by 5-2. Then it was 5-4, and Farah picked up a butte bowl on the last to go to 5-all. So first was shared 5-all.
Farah will be very disappointed with her third bowl of this end. You see there it's finished well short. And Anne,
Oh, that's
well, they'll both be disappointed with their previous bowls, won't they? It's poor stuff.
Really bad bowl by Nunez. She'd played her first 3, all ended up in good positions, holding the shot, covering areas where the jack might go, and then she just needed to put some more pressure on.
Decisions here. I think it's just the forehand, isn't it, John? You'll just play the forehand side.
So, yeah.
Try and trail the jack back to your own bowl.
Yeah, she's having a wee nibble
Playing
here.
with more weight.
Ooh.
Oh, that's fortuitous.
That was very. And so it is Farah who gets the shot out of this, I think. Could have well sprung that jack to the left, and you look at those red bowls out there.
Very good result.
That's the way the game goes. And it is a blue lollipop we see. And now Farah of Malaysia leads by 5-3.
Just watch her reaction, John. She was pleased at the bowl. Look at this. Hit it, she thinks. And happy days.
Yeah. Pleased, and then realising that was lucky.
You never question it in this game. So 5-3 the score, as you said.
Right, we're up to end number 6.
And we've lost the jack as well. That sign of a little bit of pressure, perhaps. Margaret delivering it back, so Anne's going to get this opportunity now to...
Well, she, coming this way last time, she had it on the 2-metre mark, and that was clearly where Farah was wanting it anyway, so they're enjoying playing the same length, I think. Change up for her then.
Can you imagine if we have 2 drawn sets?
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
It's possible.
And then a third end in the tiebreaker. Yeah. Hey, just to we go 2 drawn sets, and then it's 3-all after 2.
Toss
We've got
a
to
coin.
play. Yeah, that's right.
Good game to start off the coverage with here live on Sky Sport New Zealand and the Bowls New Zealand YouTube channel. And if you are one of our YouTube viewers and you found the Bowls New Zealand YouTube channel and you're not a subscriber yet, and you would like to watch more bowls, can I encourage you to click the subscribe button. It should be in red somewhere. It will say subscribe, and if you click on it, you will be notified when that channel goes live. And with 3 more days of broadcasts here from the World Bowls Champion of Champions Singles, it's a nice simple way to stay up to date.
When people hear the word subscribe, they expect to be paying a lot of money.
No, no money. Just
it's just
click the
subscribe
button.
means, yeah.
Click the button, you're in.
Yep.
Get a little notification on your phone when the channel goes live, and you can decide to watch it or not. A good start here by Farah, defending that 2-shot lead.
Here we go. Oh, she's going to dip. Or get a flick. Or not. So just one still. One now to Malaysia.
One and a measure. I heard come through the ambient mic. Penultimate end.
No doubt they found that hand a more comfortable one, haven't they? But that's a long way shy. Gosh.
Anne's got a chance now. She can reach through the shot bowl. Just sit on it for 1.5. Give her a really good opportunity for a 2. This is in the area, John. This is in the area. Good bowl. Exceptional shot. She's unlucky there not to be half. Well, she was half a bowl narrow, but it was such a well played bowl. Holding 1.
Two bowls to be played. The first of them is the blue one. Bit of encouragement from Malaysian coach. Could be 5-all playing the last.
Whoa. Oh, it's actually been quite exciting.
Yeah. But then, of course, no, it'd be better if it's 5-4 playing the last, and then there's a chance of a draw.
Right. So that's not going to count. So here we go. Here's Anne's opportunity, John, to draw level.
Yep.
And then we won't be having, or be very unlikely to be having a 3-end tiebreak then.
Right. Yeah.
I won't say we won't, because you never know. You need 2 touches or the 2 bowls to be the exact same distance apart. The end could be drawn. So for 2.
Ooh, she's gone that big wide arc there.
I don't think that's going to come back from there.
No. She's done that a couple of times, hasn't she? Just really humped it out there. So One it is. So we do have the opportunity of getting a second.
I can feel it in my
in.
bones, John.
Oh.
We're going to be 5-all in the first set, 5-all in the second set, and a 3 in tie break. It'll be all square after 3.
And then we'll toss a coin.
Yeah, we've got all the time in the world. Why not use it? Mat placed down. Jack length, crucial here. This is the direction that the players have been, well, struggling's an exaggeration. It's the direction that the players have been playing the least amount of effective bowls. And there's the jack.
Well, she watched it all the way, I think. She was wondering if she'd overcooked it. It's right down on the 2 metre. We might see a couple of bowls in the ditch from this. I haven't bowled to this length going in this direction.
It's an interesting anxiety as a bowler when the jet gets placed on the 2 metre mark and it's a quick green, because you almost double guess yourself.
Yeah.
It's the number of times you let it go and it feels good. Just keeps running. This is a nice weight.
Yeah, you want that first one.
Solid start.
So no doubt Farah will play the other hand.
As we said, we've got a few more days here. We go till Saturday at the World Champion of Champion Singles, and if you're in the Auckland region or even feel like travelling, it's a wonderful facility here at the Browns Bay Bowling Club. That's a good shot. There's a coffee cart, John.
Yep.
Ice cream, food, a bar, good bowls. What more could you ask for? It's a wonderful place to be.
I wonder if she's going to play the other hand. The one that she's probably only delivered 2 balls on the entire match.
I can think of maybe 2.
Yeah. And it might just work out for her.
She's
A
done
flick
it.
off there.
She's done
That'll
it.
do it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
good bowl. Well played, Anne.
Yep. And I don't think she would have played that hand if that blue ball hadn't have been where it is. She's stuck to that same side of the rink all the way through.
And now holding one, so holding the drawn set. Farah on the backhand, on the tight side. This is a very narrow bowl, John. It's going to need to drift. It's going to need to drift a lot. That's a bowl played under pressure there.
Started narrow.
And look at that, it's just gone into the ditch. Played under pressure. When we talk about those reaching bowls being much harder to play in New Zealand, that's what we mean. Very hard to punch a bowl up, and jogging after this one.
Suggests she's quite happy with it, and a wee flick on this bowl would be great for her. Or just enough maybe. That's probably given her 2. So now the pressure really is on Farah from Malaysia.
Holding the
She
win.
showed her intent with that previous bowl. Quite so narrow this time. It's not going to be here.
Pressure, John.
Yep.
That's what it is.
And there'll be a spring in the step of Anne Nunes as she goes down to the mat now. Blowing out, exhaling, nervous exhalation of air. Turns and has a look back at the spot where she wants this bowl to finish. As she picks it up, she'll be reminded that there is still 1 bowl to be played.
We'll see her chase after this bowl as well, I think, John.
Yeah.
Yeah, want to be standing down the other end.
Be the deep breath. Here we go. Last bowl for her in this set. She's holding the shot. She's got bowls handily placed. She'll be probably wanting something a little bit over. Oh no, she's going to bring one in and draw another. Or she's short, which she'll be annoyed with. So does that give her opponent an opening?
Well,
or has she cut out the shot that Farah was going to play?
it's interesting because there's nothing to hit. There's no back bowls for blue. She should be feeling, I think Anne will be almost feeling like, well, we're going to 3 ends at a minimum, because it looks reasonably secure, that single shot.
Yeah.
And I think it's a dead draw here on the back end to save the game for Farah.
So Farah's last bowl, of course, is right on the centre line and well short. Here we go. Looking for that narrow line again. Maybe not narrow enough. Certainly just slips by, and so it is at least 5 all.
I expect that it's
2.
two.
It's a shake of the hands, and so Ann Nunes of the USA has picked up a 2 on the final end of the second set to win this match against the Malaysian Farah Ain by 6-5. The first set was drawn 5 all. The second set goes the way of the defending champion Ann Nunes of the USA by 6-5. We've got more coming up for you later from the world champion of champion singles.